Hello, I'm Antonio Mora. This is the News and News.com Day in Brief. Today's top stories in 4 minutes. It's Wednesday, July 25th at 7 p.m. The big question today is why in the world did the White House invite Vladimir Putin for a second summit with President Trump, only to postpone it less than a week later? The word from National Security Advisor John Bolton is that Trump believes the next meeting with Putin should wait until, quote, after the Russia witch hunt is over. But the Mueller investigation has been around for more than a year, so that shouldn't have been the reason for the White House to change its tune. Sure, Speaker of the House Ryan and Senate Majority Leader McConnell both said Putin would not be welcome on Capitol Hill, and Nancy Pelosi went as far as calling Putin a thug. But that reaction was predictable, and the White House could have figured out where congressional leaders stood by just picking up the phone before issuing the Putin invite. Also, it didn't help that the Russians themselves seemed hesitant, even suggesting that two leaders could just talk at the G20 summit in Argentina in November. If the Russians hadn't sent strong signals that they would agree to a DC summit, why publicize the invitation and again raise questions about White House competence? Maybe it was a hasty decision by the president, possibly intended to distract from the backlash against his performance in Helsinki. Maybe the invitation was just another hasty decision with no ulterior motive. If so, where were the White House advisors who could have slowed down the process until the T's were crossed and the I's dotted? On the other hand, the postponement may be an effort by the Trump administration to show how it stands up to Russia. That's a narrative that gained some traction with yesterday's Trump tweet, where he claimed no president has been tougher on Russia than him. Interestingly, a poll just found that even though 60% of Americans said they disapproved of Trump's handling of Russia in Helsinki, 54% supported his decision to invite the Russian leader to the White House. Secretary of State Pompeo testified before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and it was clear his mission was to send the message that Trump is not deferential to Putin and will hold Russia accountable, listing a series of actions he described as proof that Trump is tough on Russia. He did not answer questions about the private Trump-Putin meeting. Now our alternate universes segment, the great divide between conservative and liberal media. What actually happened today in the Pompeo hearing? If you read Town Hall's positive coverage, you would be left with the impression of a crusading, righteous Pompeo who bulldozed another liberal narrative about Russia by declaring there would be no relief of Crimea-related sanctions until Russia gives Crimea back to Ukraine. But if you read the New York Times article that focused on the negative, Pompeo comes off as a Trump apologist, with his testimony described as, quote, an elaborate cleanup effort by the nation's top diplomat for Trump's performance in Helsinki. Facts are facts, says the CNN commercial. They aren't colored by emotion or bias. They are indisputable. There is no alternative to a fact. Tell that to the New York Times and Town Hall. Lots of other big news. The U.S. and EU agreed to work towards zero tariffs. CNN obtained the already infamous Trump tape where he discussed a payment related to former Playboy playmate Karen McDougal. ISIS killed 180 people in southern Syria. And hopes of finding life on Mars grew with the discovery of a large reservoir of liquid water underneath the red planet's south pole. You can find all those stories and much more updated around the clock 7 days a week on newsandnews.com, where you will find all you need to know in one place. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the right of your screen just below this video. And please follow us on Facebook at Real News and News, and follow me on Twitter at AMoraTV. I'll see you again tomorrow.